Back here at Alterowitz Gym during halftime of the MSUB women's basketball game. The Vikings leading the Jackets 38-26. Exciting game so far, Kelsey, don't you think?
Yeah, it has. It's been really exciting to watch.
Plenty of offense. This is Kelsey Devlin, MSUB softball, senior third baseman. Is it nice to be back home? You're sitting here in Alterowitz Gym, getting to relax for a weekend. How does that feel?
It feels really nice. I never thought I'd miss the snow so much after spending, 13 days in the desert essentially. But it's nice to be home and relax and get caught up on homework.
So the Yellowjackets softball team opened the year. You had 13 games. You were supposed to have 14. The last one got rained out there. But 13 in a row on the road. You went down to Vegas. You stopped in St. George, Utah. Tell us about that trip. You guys started 1-6, and then you finished 3-3. So you made some progress.
Yeah, we did make some progress, and we played some really good teams. We played some regionally ranked teams and a lot of really good competition. And it was the first time any of us had been outside since fall, so defense definitely had some adjustments to make throughout the trip, which I think we did, and just getting used to playing with each other on the field again as opposed to in the gym. And our pitchers, we only had 3 pitchers throughout the whole tournament, and I thought they did a really good job of sticking through it till the last games, and Maddie Lincoln threw a great last game for us, and to play 13 games off of 3 pitchers is pretty impressive, so I think they did a really good job for us.
The field out at Avitas Group Stadium still semi-covered in snow. I poked my head out there today. You guys were in the outfield improvising, setting up a little bit of infield, outfield work, getting some live looks, I think, as you said, for the first time since October. Talk about staying sharp. You have a couple weeks off before your next game. What are you going to focus on to make sure you're ready to go for GNAC play?
We really just break it down in practice. Like our first day back, we just broke down all our hitting fundamentals and just really have a lot of work days and just back to basics. After you spend 2 weeks on the road and all you do is play games, you don't have time to fix anything. You just have to kind of rally for the next game. And so it's nice to have these couple weeks off before we start conference games again to just really touch up on all of our mechanics and our basics and just kind of make everything a little bit more smooth for us.
That's right. We talked with Coach Raymond after the Stinger. She said, boy, I really wish I had a day or two to practice because you played 5 games there, and then you had, I think, 6 or 7 more in a row, and you didn't get a single day of practice in there.
No.
But you're used to the grind. This is your senior year, your 4th year in the program. Talk about being a senior leader, getting through grinds like that, and you have a big GNAC schedule coming up.
We do. We have another big week coming up, our spring break trip. We start the GNAC right off the bat with 12 games in a week, and so we kind of just hit the ground running after this little 2-week hiatus. And so you learn to just kind of push through it and just take one day at a time, one game at a time, and you can't look too far into the future. You just got to take what's in front of you and work through that before you can even try to think about making it till the end of the week when you're playing that many games in a row.
Now let's talk about this lineup a little bit because it may be the most powerful ever. It's certainly one of the best ever at MSUB. So you got speed at the top, speed at the bottom, and a whole bunch of power in between. Now you hit 3 home runs during the Desert Stinger. Megan Detling had 3 home runs in a single game. Cam Casanelli had a couple. Talk about what makes you guys so dangerous from top to bottom.
Well, I mean, a lot of it comes from practice. We have really good pitchers, and so we see a lot of good live pitching through our off season. So that helps a lot, and just working on our fundamentals every day in practice. And we all know our role and know what to do. And like our stoppers are really good at finding their way on base, whether it's small ball or hitting the gaps or whatever it is that they find their way on. And then like the middle of the lineup comes through, and we know that our job is just to hit the ball hard and move those girls around. And then we got speed coming through again on the bottom, and their job is to move us around, and we all work really well together and know our roles and just hit the pitches we get.
Now it's a very veteran lineup. I think at a maximum you have 1 true sophomore or younger in the starting lineup. That's when Maddie Kelly starts behind the plate.
Right.
But otherwise you have juniors and seniors up and down the lineup.
Right.
Talk about the experience you've had here. Almost every player in that lineup was a member of that team that went on the regional run 2 seasons ago. You guys know how to be a winning team. It's the same players that you've had the last couple of years. What's it going to take to reach that level again this year?
I think just really getting used to being all together again. And once we get more games under our belt, I have no doubt in my mind that we will be that team that we were my sophomore year, I guess, when we played in that regional tournament. Because like you said, we have everything that it takes to get there. And all the girls in our starting lineup right now were on the roster at that time. And we all want to get back there. That's our end goal right now, is win GNACs and go back to regionals and just show them really what we can do. And so I think we can.
Now you guys are starting off the battle to get to the GNAC championship and the regional beyond. You're watching the game tonight, sitting down there with Megan Detling, your teammate, watching these women try and stay alive in the fight for the conference tournament. Now, we talked to Kaylin Sando on the women's soccer team at halftime of the men's game to give us an athlete's perspective on what the grind is like in the GNAC when it gets to this point in the season, you're trying to get in the tournament. From your perspective, what's it like watching this women's basketball team compete like this?
It's exciting to watch, and especially going into our conference season starting in a week or two or something like that. It's really good to just kind of remind you that every game's a fight and every single game matters. You can't take a game off. In our GNAC conference, we have a lot of really good players and really good teams, and I think it's really going to be a dogfight for this season. And so just kind of to remind you as an athlete that every game matters. A 4-game series can seem pretty long sometimes, especially when you get to the end of the season, but every win counts, and so you have to fight every pitch, and every little thing adds up, and so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
Kelsey Devlin, MSUB softball third baseman, joining us during halftime. You and Cam, home run battle this year. You guys tied with 11 each last year. What's that battle like?
It's really fun, actually. We joke around about it all the time. And it's funny because she's actually leading the GNAC in strikeouts right now and home runs. So
I bet you don't let her hear the end of that.
Oh, God, no. No, I mean, if I'm not going to beat her in home runs, I got to at least have less strikeouts than her. Like, you know. But I always joke around. It's my senior year. You got to let me win this one. So, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, follow Kelsey and the Yellowjackets softball team. We're still a month away from home games, but the Jackets will be in action, and you can follow them on the road and at home all season long at MSUBsports.com. We're just about 6.5 minutes away from the start of the second half here at Alterowitz Gym. It's Western Washington 38, MSUB 26. Women's basketball action coming back to you right after this break.